Hey y'all, it's Thursday. Let's chat. So, y'all want to hear a story about how I almost got kidnapped in traffic, in inhuman trafficking? Ooh, so I recorded this like months ago, and I lost the recording. Like, I don't know what happened. And I kept telling myself, I was like, well, one day when I get time, I'm going to just go through my drives and see if I can find it. Because sometimes I'll record stuff and I don't immediately upload it. And I'll just store it on a drive so then I can go back and post that. So I was like, maybe that's what I did. I went through them drives last night, y'all. I could not find it. I said, well, we're going to record it again. Because y'all got to hear this story. Ooh, y'all. So this happened. Carrie was probably like 2. Because it was around the time when we first left her dad. And we moved into the townhome. So when me and her dad first split up, y'all, I used to be so sad, so depressed, and all the time, right? And so one day I was on the phone with my dad, and he was like, you're not about to sit up in the house every weekend and be depressed. He was like, you need to find you some hobbies, find you something to do, and get out the house. And so I was like, okay. Well, I don't know, because, yeah, I had got so consumed in my relationship with her dad, or so consumed in the relationship with her dad, that I forgot who I was. I forgot what I liked. Like, I just forgot who I was. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't even know what I like to do, but okay. And he was like, well, this is where you start. He said, go to the movies. I don't care if you go see the same movie every weekend or every other weekend. He said, start by just going to the movies. Start by just getting out the house. He was like, because you're not about to sit up and cry every weekend. So I was like, okay. So I started going to the movies, y'all, every other weekend. Yeah, at first it was every other weekend. When we first split, it was every other weekend that he would get her. And so like clockwork, y'all, I go to the movies. I will go to Studio Movie Grill, the one in Lincoln Square, because to me, that's the nice one. The one in the Highlands be having sticky flows and everything else. Baby, no. So in the morning, I'll wake up. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to the movies. I would go, and it got to the point where the people remembered me, y'all. And they would be like, hey, you know, you getting one, da da da. And I'm like, yeah. And you know, you can eat there too. And they used to have a brunch menu, but then they got rid of it, which I was so, when they got rid of that brunch menu, I was sad, okay? I was sad because, baby, that brunch menu used to go up, okay? Give me a little Moscow Mule, you know what I'm saying? Get them little breakfast tacos sometime, y'all. That breakfast menu used to go up, or brunch menu used to go up. So this one particular day, and this is, y'all, don't judge me for what I'm about to tell y'all, okay? Don't judge me. We and all have done some foolish things in our time. All right? All right. So this one day, I was tired. I don't know why I was tired this particular day, but I was. And so sometimes, yeah, I would go to the movie and I would just sleep. I wouldn't even watch the movie. I didn't really care about the movie. I would eat, I would drink, and I would go to sleep in the movie theater. Crazy, right? Yeah, I know. So this one particular day, I didn't fall asleep this day, but I was tired. But something just kept me up. Something kept me up. Like, there would be times, y'all, where the employees would come and they'd be like, hey, the movie's over, and come wake me up. But this day, even though I was tired, Something in me will not let me fall asleep, y'all. So I had a couple drinks, movie over, everything. I'm mosey on to my car. Now, mind y'all, I didn't see anybody watching me. Let me just tell y'all that right now. I did not see anybody watching me, but the person that I think it is, y'all, or think that it was, have been watching me for a while. And I'm gonna tell y'all why, who I think it is and all that. So I get in my car and I'm leaving Lincoln Square. What street is that? What street is that? It's not Road to Six Flags, or it might be Road to Six Flags. No, I can't think of which street it is, y'all. But the street that runs along Lincoln Square by the Shell Shack and all that. So I'm getting ready to turn out there to go right, because I'll go around, you know, the filter and all that. And this car literally almost hits me, y'all. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what's wrong with this person? Right? That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, what's wrong with this person? I didn't too much of them. You know, I just kept on going. I went ahead and pulled it on out. Went about my little journey. And y'all, as I went Randall Mill to Filter. I hit Filter, and I noticed the sun is just shining a little different. Like I was literally in a twilight zone, y'all. I realized that now. I did not realize that at this moment. And I'm like, man, it's such a beautiful day. I got some Kim playing. Now, I was driving my Impala at the time, y'all. I had a, what year was that car? 2000, was it 2011, 2006, 2007? A 2000 and something Impala. I can't remember what year. I'm like, it made 10 years. 2007 Impala. 2007 Impala, I believe. I might be wrong, but I want to say it was 2007. So I'm in the Impala, y'all. And I told y'all my cars, I always have dark tint. Like, y'all can see out my windows. If y'all know, y'all can see out my windows. But you can be standing right here next to my car and you cannot see inside my windows. I've always got cars with dark tint. I don't like people looking at me. I just don't. So, I'm rolling. I don't remember what Kim song was playing. But y'all, I'm having a time. And I'm like, oh, it's just a beautiful day. The sun is just shining just perfectly. As I'm going down Filter, something just told me to look. Something just told me to look at my review. As I'm getting over, I do a lane change. I look at my review and I said, wait, that's the car that almost hit me in the parking lot. And I was like, why are they behind me still? Why? Because, y'all, I have gotten so far from the movie theater at this point. I'm like, why would they be behind? Like, coming, like, you know, I'm like, maybe it's a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences. I'm like, maybe there's a coincidence. It's just a coincidence, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna do a couple things to see if they really follow me. So I start like doing some lane changes and stuff, y'all. And I get over, they will get over. I turn down the street, they turn down the street. And that's when I realized they were following me, y'all. So I was like, oh no, I'm being followed. I'm like, who following me? I'm wondering, I'm like, did my ex hire some private investigator or something? Are they trying to get some information on me? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, wait, what is going on? And so once I realized I was being followed, because I turned in a parking lot. There's this place, it's called Fork in the Road. Well, it used to be there. Now there's some kind of Boudin Bow or something. Is it Boudin Boo or Boudin Bow? That's there now. But it used to be this place called Fork in the Road. Yeah, they used to have the best mac and cheese. And so I was like, I'm gonna turn in like I'm going there and see if they turn in. Now I already knew that they were closed, y'all, because they didn't open until like lunchtime and then like the afternoon and stuff. So mind y'all, it's the morning. I always went to matinees. I went to the movies in the morning. So I'm like, I'm gonna just pull in. I'm gonna just see if they pull in behind me. Then I know for sure, ain't no coincidence, y'all. They pulled in behind me. Now this is the crazy thing about this car. The front windshield was tinted, y'all. You could not see in the front of the windshield. So I'm like, ain't this about it? I'm trying to come up with a plan, like how am I gonna get home and get away from them? So I pull into the parking spot. They pull in a few down, and I immediately put in the reverse shot real quick, and take off. Yeah, I didn't even stop to look and see if cars was coming before I pulled out the parking lot because I was that scared. Okay, I was that scared. So we shooting down Fielder, get to Bowen, or not to Bowen. We get to the 303. We get to Pioneer Parkway, and I'm like, okay, I gotta lose them. So I'm gonna go towards Bowen. So I hit the 303, and I'm speeding, y'all, speeding. Some just told me get all the way over to the left. So I get all the way over to the left. They still in the right lane, and they trying to get over. Like, they got their signal on, trying to get over. Ain't nobody letting them over. I swear to God, these must be my guardian angels this day, because nobody was letting them over. So I'm like, let me just get to Bowen, hit the left, then I can lose them. Like, I'm already in my mind. I'm like, y'all, and I'm new. Like, y'all gotta mind, y'all, I ain't been here that long, so I really don't know the area that well. But I'm like, I think I can kind of figure it out, because even when me and John were together, me and my ex, my daughter's dad, he always drove everywhere. I never drove anywhere besides to work and home. Baby, I was a passenger princess. Do you hear me? I never drove anywhere. So I'm like, okay, once I get up here, I know I can, go get to the house this way or whatever. So I'm sitting at the light on Bowen. And so y'all know on the 303, when you're going towards Bowen, it's like a little hill, right? And when you are at the bottom of the hill, you can't see like the cars that's coming. Like, you will see them come over the hill, whatever. So I'm looking, I didn't sped so fast, y'all. I'm at the light, and I'm looking back at my review, and I see him come over the hill. I'm assuming it's a man, because the way stuff about to unfold. So I'm like, oh my God, I see him coming over here. I'm like, come on, light, come on, light, come on, light, come on, light. And so, again, they signaling trying to get over. Nobody's letting them over. The light finally turned green. So they had to go through the light, because they couldn't get over in time to make that left on Bourne when they seen me trying to make the left. So that light turned green, y'all. I took off. I was like, I'm gone, right? So then someone just told me, it was like, hit this first street. So I hit the first street, y'all, which is Arkansas. I hit that first left, and I pulled over into that neighborhood, and I backed up in a driveway. And so, yeah, I don't know the people. People didn't know me or nothing, but they had a trailer in their driveway. So I was like, I can just pull up back in next to this trailer, and if they come shooting past here, they gonna see me. So I told myself, y'all, I said, or they gonna see me, I'm going to see them. I was like, they ain't gonna be able to see me, but I'm gonna see them. So that's what I did, y'all. So I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting, and they never came by. They never came past. So I guess I lost them, right? And so, y'all, I was like, man, I'm crazy. So I'm thinking, because I never seen them, I waited like 2 or 3 minutes, and when I didn't see them coming flying down the street, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm tripping. Ain't nobody looking for me. Ain't nobody chasing me. I'm tripping, y'all. And so I laughed it off, and I went home. I proceeded to, turn my GPS on and take a little back way, whatever. But I went home. I shouldn't have went home, but I did. But again, y'all, I was like, when I didn't see him come past me, I said, I'm tripping. I'm just tripping. I laughed it off like, girl, you crazy. Ain't nobody trying to get you. Ain't nobody following you. Ain't nobody, And I just laughed it off, and I went home. And y'all, I didn't think nothing much more of it after that happened, right? And so then, I don't know if it was a month or weeks later, I'm on Facebook, and there's this viral post where this lady is talking about this car in the Walmart parking lot, and how these guys tried to basically box her in, and her husband jumps out of the car because they didn't know that her husband was in her car. They seen her get out of the car, go into the Walmart. It's at night. Go into the Walmart. Whole time her husband is still sitting in the car. Her husband just didn't get out to go in the store. So they were waiting on her to come out. And there was, I want to say she said there was a van. Or like, I can't remember if she said it was white or not. But there was a van that wasn't there before when she came out, that was parked by her car. That was not too far from her car. And then there was this other sports car. And I always forget what kind of car this was, y'all. But when I see it, especially after I first found out what was going on, my anxiety would just go like, oh my God, is that them? Is that them? Is that them? Because I have one of those faces, y'all, that's just, it's not really one of those faces you just forget. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, if they see me anywhere, they might try to get me. Like, that's what I was really on. And so, she's describing the car, and she's like, it's all black. It has black rims, This is when I knew she wasn't lying. And she was like, and the front windshield was tinted. You can't see in the front windshield. When I read that part, y'all, I immediately started crying. Because when she said that, I said, oh my God. Because she was like, what I realized was I couldn't see like the person, even though I'm looking at the car, I can't see who's driving the car, but they pulled up. So basically she came out the store. She was walking towards her car. The van pulled up on her one way. The other car pulled up on her the other side. And she's like, I can see the car, but I can't see who's in it. And that's when she realized that the window was tinted. And that was the thing when I'm doing the dash, because I was doing the dash on the 303. I realized, I'm like, why I can't see who driving this car? And that's when I realized, I was like, wait, their front windshield must be tinted. And that's what really made me panic. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's what made me like, yeah, we gotta get Ghost on. But y'all, and so when I tell you, I just immediately just start crying. Because I was like, oh my God, I could have been a goner. Like, I would have been, y'all, listen. And then it came out later that all the stuff that had been going on over there in that area by the stadium, y'all, that I was not aware of. When I say I ain't been back over there, I ain't been back over there. Okay. Last time I went over there was with my ex. We went to, it was a little Mexican restaurant or whatever. I can't remember the name. No, me and him actually went to the movies together too over there. But outside of that, by myself, baby, I ain't been back over there since I found out. It all came out that there was a lot of trafficking going on and people were coming up missing over there, y'all. And I was like, oh, what? Because I could have been gone. I wouldn't even be here to tell y'all this, to tell y'all about it. Had I not, like, snapped to it, because I'm telling you, I was really just rolling down Fielder. I'm like, la, 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 la. Oh, man, the sun is just shining just in a different kind of way. It's so beautiful outside. Yeah, I was in the twilight zone. That was God saying, girl, you about to get sent home. Come on. You're going into the light. I did not realize. Y'all. I did not realize. But anyways, when her husband, I didn't finish telling y'all the story, what happened. So when the cars pulled up on her and tried to box her in, her husband jumps out of her car and was like, what's up? We got a problem? And y'all know everybody in Texas strapped. He was like, what's up? Like, he started talking to the cars like, what's up? What's up? And then the cars just took off. Y'all. So then one time, and this is when all of this stuff came out. that's when I then remember this time when I was at Shell Shack with my girls. We had a girls' night out. We went and had some seafood and stuff. And there was this guy sitting at the bar. And I remember telling my friend, I was like, my friend at the time, I was like, that guy at the bar looked familiar. And she was like, what do you mean he looks familiar? I was like, I don't know. It's something about him. Like, I feel like I've seen him before. And the thing is, he came in, he sat at the bar, but I kept noticing he kept looking over his shoulder at us. We were not sitting at the bar. We were sitting in the dining area, way away from the bar. And I was like, he keep looking over here. And she was like, no, girl, you just paranoid. Like, she really tried to downplay it. She's like, you paranoid, you tripping, girl. He ain't worried about us. He ain't looking at us. And I'm like, man, I keep seeing him look over his shoulder. And I'm like, I don't know him. I can't call him by name. I'm like, but I know I've seen his face. And he keeps looking over his shoulder at us, which was really weird. So I even, I think I asked our server, I was like, does he come in here often or something? You know, I asked. And she was like, yeah, why do you ask? And I was like, I'm just curious, right? And so my friend, being obnoxious as she is, decides to get loud. She was like, girl, that man ain't worried about us. Shortly after she said that, y'all, he got up and he left. And I was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So I'm like, where I know this man from, right? And you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find his profile, because I muted his profile on my social media, so he gotta be in there somewhere. I either muted him or blocked him or whatever. But long story short, what I ended up finding out, this man was following me on social media, y'all. I did not know this man. I didn't know this man. I ain't never met this man a day in my life. I ain't never spoke to this man. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because one day I had posted something, right? And I'm the type of person, I don't really be paying attention to my likes and stuff like that. I don't be caring. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna say I just don't be caring, because I be looking for the little boo-boo. Yeah, I mean, make sure my boo like my stuff. But I don't be looking for nothing outside of that. Don't nothing else really be mattering. I'd be like, yeah, I don't be caring. And so, for whatever reason, I decided to go through my likes. And I was like, who is this person? Because I didn't know the name. And so I clicked on a profile, and it was him. It was a guy from the bar. And I was like, wait a minute. So I took a screenshot and I sent it to her. I said, girl, I told you he looked familiar. And she's like, oh, okay, so you know him from somewhere. And I was like, no, I ain't never met this man a day in my life. But he follows me on social media. And clearly he been watching my stuff because he liked my posts. And she was like, she kept basically trying to make me seem like I was crazy. She was like, you had to meet him somewhere. You had to meet him. I'm like, I don't forget. One thing about me, and anybody can tell you this about me, anybody that have met me in my day-to-day life, whether it be a homeless person or not, anybody that's ever met me will tell you I never forget a face. I never forget someone I've interacted with that I know. I promise you. I promise you. Even the homeless man on the street, he was like, you remember me? I said, of course I remember you. And he was like, yeah, I remember you too, but I didn't want to, come off as aggressive or anything. I'm like, man, please, you can speak to me anytime. Like, I don't care, like, whether I meet you once and it's just like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, I will never forget your face. If I meet you in person, I will never forget your face. I might forget your name and be like, what's your name again? But I will never forget a face. So when she's downplaying me, trying to make me feel like I'm crazy, like, no, this and this and that, I'm like, girl, no. I would know if I met this man in person. Even if I was just out and I seen him at some, I'm like, I'm one of those type of people. And that's what really made me so successful in corporate America, y'all. Because I can remember people, and I remember things about people, things that people tell me about themselves. And so, like the homeless man, when he was telling me that he was an Army veteran and stuff, and I was like, well, happy Veterans Day. And he was like, you remember me? And I'm like, of course I remember you. You talked to me about your life, and you told me about how your wife divorced you and she took everything from you and you really didn't have anything. And he was like, you remember all of that about me? And I was like, yes. Like, I'm that person where I will I remember people. I don't know what it is about me, but I remember people, and I remember the things that people tell me. And so about themselves. And so she just kept trying to, she was like, no. And I'm like, man, I ain't crazy. I don't know this man. Who sent him? And so I don't know if I end up messaging him. Matter of fact, let me pull out my other phone. I'm about to see if I can connect to my Instagram real quick. And I'm going to tell you, because I want to say I had a message to him and was like, do I know you? And he was like, no. I want to say that's what happened, but let me see if I can find his profile. It was so many years ago now, y'all. And that's what made me go, yeah, no. And I muted him, and I was like, yeah, no, something ain't right about this. And so, yeah, I really think he was the culprit, because he was in the area. And then the next time when I went to grab some stuff for myself, I seen him again. And I was like, he be in this area all the time, y'all. And mind y'all, I don't even live on that side of town. So it's not like I seen you around the way type of time. I don't live on the north side. I live on the south side. Dang, my internet ain't loading, y'all. Like, look, I'm trying to get it. It's not loading at all. Like, I'm trying to get it to load, and it's not even loading. I guess it ain't meant for me to show y'all. Let me see. Hold on. Because maybe it'll still load my settings. And I can tell y'all. Hold on, let me see. I can at least just tell y'all. It ain't gonna load. I'm gonna have to go find. Oh, wait. We might have got it. Would it be in my privacy? Let me see. No. Blocked. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, my block list long. Let me see. I don't know who that is. I'll know his face when I see him, because now I can't forget his face. Now I cannot forget his face. Ever since all this stuff happened. Let me see. I forgot about him. Oh, I forgot about her. Let me see. Okay, so he's not in my block list. I must have just muted his profile, y'all. I just muted him so that way he can't see my stuff. This is what I did. I'll have to go find him. See if my block list long. I have to go find him and see if I can find. Oh, wait. Restricted. Here we go. Oh, he got his page private now. I can't even show y'all who he is. Damn. I can't even show y'all who he is, because he got his page private. But either way it goes, it was the craziest thing a day when I realized what took place, y'all. It probably took me like at least a week and a half to recover from. Once I realized, like, oh my God, I could have been gone. Oh my God, Carrie could have not had a mom. Y'all have to be careful when y'all out here on your day-to-day doing all this stuff, because you can think, oh, I'm just doing something, I'm just having fun, I'm just enjoying myself. It's somebody watching you. It's always somebody watching you. And I need y'all to be aware of that. And when I tell y'all, I try not to be a creature of habit now. I try not to be a creature of habit. I try to take different routes home. I try to, just because it's always somebody watching you. And that, after that situation, I learned that. I was like, what if they would have followed me all the way home? Y'all, what if they would have knew where I lived, y'all? Like, it was a scary thing. Once I realized, after I seen that lady post, and she described that car to the T, the exact same car, it wasn't a laughing matter no more. because then I knew that it was something serious. I knew that I could have been a goner. And I found out that it was really bad in Arlington. I didn't know it was really bad in Arlington, but I can see how it could be really bad. You know, we have a lot of tourists that come in our city because, of course, it's America's dream city, you know, and we have the Cowboy Stadium here and the Rangers. We got all these attractions and stuff. Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor, and all this other stuff. You know, people love to come to Arlington. Now we got these museums and all this stuff too. People love to come to Arlington. So it's easy for somebody to come on an OM. We got Texas Live now too. So, you know, when y'all going out, y'all doing stuff, whether y'all drinking or whatever, we come together, we leave together. Period. If you're going drinking, especially over there in that area, make sure that somebody knows where you are at all times. Y'all, people, it's easy for them to get people, whether it be women or men, because men get jacked up just like women do. I need y'all to understand that too. Women are not the only ones getting trafficked. Women are not the only ones. Men do too. Okay? So be on alert. Keep your head on a swivel and don't be a creature of habit. Because me being a creature of habit is what made me a target. I really believe that. Because I'm telling y'all, it was like clockwork. Same time every other week. Same time every other week. And I was just depressed. I just needed to get out and find myself because I was so depressed about what happened between me and my daughter's dad. Because that was supposed to be the marriage of my life. That was supposed to be the person that I could change the world with. And then to find out that you were betrayed, and not only were you betrayed, but betrayed in such a vast way. Like, y'all, this man moved me to a whole nother state just to fuck over me. I will never get over that. You could have left me where I was at, like my daddy told you the night you packed up my stuff. My daddy told him, he said, look, if you ain't gonna do right by my daughter, leave her here. Leave her here. And up until I broke down, my dad never knew what really happened between me and my daughter's dad. He never knew, because I tried to keep it from him because I know the type of man my daddy is. He don't play that. And so I was like, you know, he kept pushing me. He was like, y'all need to get back together. Y'all need to work out for your family. You know? And then I finally was just like, Dad, look, this is what happened. And this is why. He was like, oh, no. Why you didn't tell me? I would have came and got you. And I said, that's exactly why I didn't tell you. I got a job that I actually like. Because I was at Target. I'm like, this is the type of job I always wanted. This is the type of role I always wanted. Like, I don't want to leave what I have going on for myself. And, you know, he was like, baby, I understand, but you can't be up in the house crying every week. You can't do it. And so he was like, you got to get out. You got to do something. And so that's when I started back painting, y'all. I forgot how much I loved to paint. I forgot how artistic I was. I started back writing. I started back doing all the stuff that I love to do. I started back doing it. And I was like, man, I really lost myself in that relationship. I really lost myself in that relationship. But anyways, I'm running on. It's like been 33 minutes now. So I'm going to tell y'all bye until the next time. But y'all, keep your head on the swivel. Don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get caught lacking. That's it. That's all. All right. I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.